It's the first week of November and I have decided to set myself a challenge to see if I can go an entire night without putting the heating on in this van. If you followed along, you know I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to the cold, and I like to keep this van at a cool 24 degrees on the inside during winter. So it may not seem like a challenge in November and not January, but trust me, for me, this is a challenge. So I've been out of the van since 11:30 this morning. It is now 6:30. So the van's been empty all day. There hasn't been any heating on. At the moment, the cab is hotter than the back because I've been driving, so I've had the heating on in there. But in the back, we are on 17 degrees at the moment and it's 6:30. I have LPG for my heating, LPG gas, and in January, at the start of 2025, when we had -10 nights, I think there was one week I had -10, -6 and -4 nights, I spent £90 in that month on LPG gas. So I thought, let's do a challenge and see if we can figure out another way how to save heating, if you like. So I've bought myself an electric blanket. Now this is just a really cheap one. I think it was 22 quid or something off eBay, just because I want to test it. If it works and I can get through a night with just this and not use any heating, then I will invest in a good one. But we're going to use an electric blanket. I'm going to put that on the bed tonight. I have never used one before, so a couple of things new in my life today. And also I don't know how much power it's going to draw. So we're basically going to test an electric blanket for two things. Will it keep me warm enough, number one, and second of all, can I run it off an external power bank? Speaking of power banks, this is the one we're using today, the Fossibot F1200. We're going to give this a go, plug the electric blanket into this. The electric blanket turns off after 3 hours automatically, so it's got a 3-hour setting, but we're going to run it as powerful as we can while we're awake and see how much power it draws and see what the percentage that it uses on a power bank, because I don't know, this might help somebody else. I have actually seen some other van lifers do this, so that's sort of where the ideas come from, and I've gone, that's quite genius. Electric blanket, heated electric underlay, something like that. So the first thing I've got to do is get this electric blanket on, which I think is going to be a challenge in itself, because if anybody lives in a van, you know that putting the bedding on while you're on the bed is quite a hilarious activity to do. So not only have I got to take the bedding off and get this underneath by myself in a confined space, but then we've got to put the bedding back on. So, and I mean, gosh, where am I going to put all of these? I'm going to be inundated with boxes. Where am I going to put them all? Right, so, I mean, like I said, this is just a £22 one from eBay. It is a dual control, so you can have one side hotter than the other, but I actually sleep diagonal, so I'm just going to put them both on max and see what happens. I guess I do have hot water bottles and hot drinks to do as well if it gets really bad, but I don't actually think it's getting that cold tonight, so hopefully we'll be able to manage. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take this off first and then put that on. Also, I've started knitting. I've started knitting my own jumpers. So I'm going to basically just sit in the bed on the electric blanket and knit. And that's gonna be my evening plans tonight. Okay, now I'm gonna take this off and then pull the sheet up. I'm going to have to take everything off the bed and then do it that way, I think. All the girls know to sleep with crystals under your pillow, just in case we have a backup. I've only just taken the bedding off and it's already carnage in here. Okay, let's get this off. I'll just shove that like that. Put them that way. Put them this way. I think it's got some straps to hook it under the mattress. Is that upside down? That's upside down. Great start, Becca. Oh. Excuse me. Here comes the fun part, having to sit on the sheet and then get it back on the corner. One more corner to go. Okay, step one complete. Well, first problem is I don't know if that's going to be long enough. We might need to use an extension cable. Yeah, you can tell it's only a cheap one. You can feel the bubbles underneath it, but never mind. Okay, that's that done. It's just started to rain and I'm going to open the Fossey bot. Oh, hello. Right, let's put these. Oh, I like the green. Oh, that's smaller than I was expecting it to be. Amazing. Right, we've got 28% battery on it. So we've got 2 ports on this side and you can charge it from the main solar panels and when you drive as well. There is a nice little light. Oh, does SOS, let's turn that off. So we've got 240 volts and then at this side we've got DC to DC, 1200 watts, 2 normal USBs and 2 USB-Cs. One is 100 watt, one is 20 watts. Now the beautiful thing about this is when you recharge it you can actually decide how much you want to go in. So you can change how fast it charges. So you can charge it at 200 watts all the way up to 1000 watts. So you've got an input regulator, which I love. I also love the colour green. That's well cool. So let's plug them in and see how much heat this this electric blanket generates. DC to DC input. That one's for your solar panels. You can get solar panels with this, and that's your mains charger. So you get 3 cables with it and a nice thick book. So with that fast charging input that you can change, if you whack it up to full, you can charge the whole thing in 1.2 hours, which is pretty impressive. I have several power banks and none of them charge up that fast. Right, shall we whack it up to 3 on both of these? Output is 107 watts. So let's see how we go with this. That's starting to heat up already. I can feel that. That's cool. So I'm going to do a row of knitting and see if I start to overheat. If this works, this is going to sort out such a big problem for me because I was having to top up my LPG like once every 4 or 5 days through winter, start of this year, January, February time. It was a right ball ache. I don't mind, you know, the money's fine. Most people spend 300-400 quid heating the house in winter, £90, even though compared to summer, it's an awful lot because summer I spent £10 in 15 weeks on LPG, but in winter, it will sort a problem out for me. And it also gives me a backup, you know, another way to stay warm without having to need LPG. So we're giving it a go. My bum's nice and toasty already. But anyway, I'm learning how to knit. Oh no. Oh no. I'm learning how to knit because I saw some really cool, like, Viking looking clothes, I guess, from a website. But once I checked the reviews, everybody was like, this is really poor quality. The clothes look nothing like what they do on the models. But I've seen them now. So if I can't buy them, I'm going to make my own. So I'm very new to this. If there are any knitters watching, please share some tips with me because I started one and it had loads and loads and loads of mistakes in it. But this, I think I'm on row 12 and I haven't made a mistake yet. And I'm learning how to hold the needles, I'm learning how to do it. And it also gives me something to do with my hands. The clocks have gone back now, and from 5 PM, we are locked in the van. It's raining, I don't know if you can hear the rain, but it's raining as well. So from 5 PM, we're locked in the van, and I refuse to sit in front of a screen for that many hours. So we're trying to find something we can do with our hands. We're being creative. It might take me all winter to make a top, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. So that's what we're doing. I am absolutely loving this on my bum. This is really warm. This is like having a heated seat in a car in your bed. This is lovely. I'm probably going to have to turn it down from level 3. And so we'll see, we'll put it on level 3 for a minute until we get too warm. Then we'll drop it down to level 1 and we'll see how we cope with that. But I think actually, I called this a challenge. This might be a breeze. This is lovely and warm. And the power bank, can't hear anything on it. It's doing its thing. So I'll get a couple of rows of knitting done and I'll come back to you, see how we go. Okay, we've been on 20 minutes or so and you can hear the fans now. The fans have come on, but they're very quiet. And I have actually taken this down to level 2 because it is very toasty. So I think this might actually work, which is cracking, to be honest. I don't feel the need for heating. It's actually taken up my van a degree as well. So the heat from this, obviously it's such a small space, the heat from the electric blanket is quite clearly heating up my van as well. So yay, I'll carry on knitting. This kind of rain on a van roof is lovely. If you watched my storm video, it was not the same thing. I like this kind of rain. This is not a problem. Storm Amy was a different kettle of fish. Although I really do think it is because I was parked where I was, because I think there was another one since then, Storm Benjamin, and one of my Patreons literally messaging me was like, I just want to make sure you're all safe and more sheltered this time. And I literally replied going, is there a storm? Because I was parked, where was I parked? Outside Milton Keynes, on the outskirts of Milton Keynes, and I was in such a sheltered spot that I literally didn't even know there was a storm on until the next day when I went for a walk and I got a bit blown away. So if you are in a van and there is a storm coming, do not park on an open field on the highest point, because it is not fun and you won't sleep for 2 days. But this is lovely. This kind of rain is lovely. Anyway, I'm very happy with the electric blanket. It is working a treat. Like, I can feel it's cold, like the air in the van is cold, but because I'm sitting on this, I'm totally fine. So I genuinely think I might have solved a problem. Now, like I said, this is not the electric blanket I want, although it seems to be fine. If I can sleep on it, okay, and the ridges don't bother me, I might just keep this one. But I do have another one in mind, but it was like 150 quid, and I wasn't spending that, like, on a whim to test it. So I just got a cheap one from eBay for now. But I think it's working, which is very good. And I'm almost at the end of another row of my knitting. I cannot believe I am knitting. Never in my life did I think I would be doing something like this, but I refuse to sit in front of a screen for several hours in the evening. Like, winters are a challenge in themselves. I know I'm going to Portugal this year, but, you know, we're still going to have longer nights. And you are stuck in a small space. So I'm trying to find hobbies that are easy to do, don't take up much room, and I can be creative at the same time, because that's when I thrive. I have discovered that I just like to make things. And this potentially, I mean, this is just practice at the moment, I'm not going to lie. I have to practice, because I am still dropping stitches every now and then, and I'm learning how to hold things. Like, as you can see, it may look a bit awkward, but we're giving it a go, and hopefully I can start making some cool clothes, because this is knitted and this is one of my favourite ones. So if I can knit something like that, I'll be quite happy, and it keeps me busy, keeps me out of trouble. And if I can sit on a hot blanket, I'm not going to get cold, am I? And one more, round, through, off. And there's another row. Where are we? Cool. So, noticeable difference between level 3 and level 2. That's for sure. We're on level 2 at the moment. This is... Oh, actually. Oh, it's very warm under there. I mean, still warm enough, but if it's a very cold day, I think I probably want it on level 3. The plan It's working!
So it was only on 28%, it wasn't fully charged, but it's on 19 now. And level 2, it's like using half the power, see? Let's put it on level 1 and let's see what happens. So level 1 is 36 watts, level 2 is 55 watts, and level 3 is 100 and odd watts. So on level 1 now, that's gone up to 4 hours use with just 19% on the power bank. I do think that would work. Right, I've just plugged this into my inverter. I have plenty of power because I've been driving a lot today. So I'm just going to see it. I've put it on 800 watts. So let's put it up to 1,000 input. And let's see. Okay, the fan's come back on. So it tells you there how quick it's going to do it. Wow. In an hour. That's so good. And you can obviously use it at the same time as charging it. Because I was just thinking I might need a bit more charge in it if I'm going to use this electric blanket overnight. I might need a bit more charge in the power bank, so let's keep that on for a little bit. It's on 1,000 watt input. So it is in less than an hour. It'll top it up from 20% to 100 on the 1,000 watt input. So let's drop it down. Let's drop it down to 800 input and let's see. So yeah, that's gone up. It's going to take an extra 10 minutes. And then let's drop it down to 600 input. If you've only got a 600 watt inverter, you can drop this down and still charge something that is technically higher than that. So that's going to take an hour and a half. So I'm going to put it up to 1,000 and then this is going to drop down to under an hour. 56 minutes on 1,000 watt input. That's amazing. So I might actually leave that charging and see how much power it draws off my battery and off my inverter, and then I can make sure I've got the electric blanket on overnight and I don't need to put the heating on. But as soon as I've stepped off the bed, it is actually cold. So I'm going to get back on the bed and hunker down here and just keep doing my knitting and stay on the nice electric blanket. But I'm pretty sure that has sorted out my problem. It was taking out 100 amps on my battery, so that's I've used like 10-15% of my battery. Well, actually the last time I checked that was on 67 and it's put it down to 52. So yeah, that pulls a lot of power when it's on 1,000. But I've got it up to 46%, so now I've got 11 hours usage on this, so that'll get me through the night, which is perfect. You coming through into the cold? It's still warmer in the cab than it is in the back here. Are you coming through? I'm afraid we've got some big boxes in. How are you, dear? It's just going to be cold in here for the night. We're having a little experiment, but it seems to be working, okay? I can't actually wait for her to get on here. It's so lovely and warm. I found a solution to my problem. I'm well chuffed. It's time to get into bed now, so it is very cold in the air of this van, for sure. I can definitely tell I've not had the heating on, but when you put your feet under here, it's so toasty. I can't believe I've never done this before. So I think I'm going to be fine, and we're just going to get into bed with the electric blanket on and be warm that way. It's probably going to be somewhere between 10 and 13 degrees in here when I get up in the morning, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. At least I know I'm going to be nice and warm. Like normally in a van, if anyone lives in a van, you know that if you put your feet under where the quilt is, even if you've had the heating on in the van, it's cold, which is why I normally put my hot water bottle under here. So when I do get into bed, you're putting your feet down and it's warm. But this is on another level. I'm not going to want to get out of bed tomorrow. If you have a power bank, I would definitely invest in an electric blanket for winter in a van. I think this is going to completely change the game. This is lovely. I'm glad it's worked, because the thing I was planning to do for this video was to cook, and obviously that's another way you can heat up the van. But I got taken out for a late lunch today and I'm still so full. I don't want to eat anything tonight. So I'm glad that this has worked, because that was going to be my other trick, to just cook, put the oven on and maybe cook a jacket potato and keep that on for an hour to warm everything up. But I don't even feel like I miss the heating. This is wild. I'm going to have such a good night's sleep, I just know it. I will catch you in the morning. Good night. Are we on cuddle time? Yeah? Come on then. Settle, good girl. It's so warm in here, I don't want to get out. I put on some extra items to charge, but the electric blanket was pulling very little power, so we had plenty to get through the night, and both Savannah and I loved it very much, and we slept very well. It's the next day. I slept very well. I wasn't too cold at all. I did put the heating on as soon as I woke up this morning though. But I think the electric blankets worked very well. I kept them on level 1 for several hours and went to sleep that way. It was so nice and warm. I'm kind of very impressed that that works. So I think that's going to sort out my problem and going to save me some LPG use in the winter. I can't believe I did a whole night without heating. I haven't done that for a month. Every single night for a month I've had the heating on. So that's the first time I've not done that. I put it on a bit this morning just to warm things up because it was like 14 degrees when I woke up and I can't stay in bed all day, can I? I'm going to leave the electric blankets on the bed. The grooves in them didn't actually bother me, so I might just keep the 20 quid ones. We'll see how we go. And it didn't pull that much power on a low setting. I mean, I only had 20% left on the FossiBot and it was saying could go for 7 hours on that setting. It really doesn't use that much power. That's going to sort my problem out. So I'm dead chuffed with that. Challenge successful. And huge shout out to FossiBot for sending me this absolutely beautiful thing. And I know I have several power banks, but this one genuinely might be my favourite now because the size of it in terms of like physical dimensions is a lot smaller than other ones of this capacity power wise. It's lighter than my smaller one. And the fact that you can change the input power is incredible. I love the colour of it. I love how easy it is to manoeuvre. And like I said, it's small enough. So yeah, this actually wins the award for best power bank that I have tested so far. They are running an offer for my viewers, very kind of them. So if you would like to have a look at them, they've got different sizes and you can also get solar panels to go with them to recharge them. I'll put the link in the description and you can go have a look at them. You can use this discount code to get some money off. And thank you very much to FossiBot. I absolutely love this one. This is fabulous. Considering it's 1200 watts and I can just lift it like this. Love it. So head on over to their website, check them out, use the link in the description, have a look at their products. I can't recommend them enough. They are absolutely fabulous. So thank you to FossiBot for that. And I'm going to call that a success on the challenge. So I'm going to sleep every night now, nice and toasty with an electric blanket on my bed. Mega. Huge shout out to my Patreons. Absolute legends. If you would like to go over and join the tribe and support the channel, you can do so over at patreon.com. Search for myvanworld, or there'll be another link in the description for that. They are about 3 videos ahead, I think. They get the videos well early. There's a group chat, there's extras, there's no ads, they get extra updates, everything like that. So if you want to go over there, check that out, you can do. And if not, I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace out and stay wild.